I'm Max Kissick-Jones. I'm the head of partnerships for EMEA. I typically like to say a fact that most people won't have a clue about me. I'm ex-British Army, and I actually took a bullet in the first Gulf. So it wasn't anywhere spectacular. It was actually my foot, but it's one of those things that a lot of people don't know. So our marketing team told me I had to put this up. Now, I'm not going to bore you with it. Basically, the one big thing that I want to put across is that Bronto, as an email service provider, we only specialize in retail. So we don't look at anything else apart from retail. We've got offices in London, a couple in the States, being New York and LA, and then Sydney. And actually, we're now servicing around about 1,600 plus brands worldwide. So the agenda, and I am going to go through this at a reasonable pace because I know that you all want to either have another drink or go home, is really to go through around 2017 planning, so what tactics retailers are actually using and what they're thinking about. We also did a white paper. Basically, it was a survey of our customers, around about 300. So I'll go through some of those top commerce marketing tactics, and then just to summarize on the white paper that we actually produced. So your customers may have already started thinking about what lies ahead in planning for 2017. While they may be proud of what they've actually done to date, this year, it's really around probably looking at some of the commerce marketing programs that have been successful and what could they actually do to increase revenue online. So yeah, you might ask yourself, have they prioritized the right commerce marketing tactics? Are they taking advantage of the most effective programs for their business? Is there more that they could actually be doing to reach out to customers to build or sustain a strong brand? And is their marketing growing in a sophisticated way that they may not be missing, or they may be missing some opportunities? So if you're curious, Bronto actually conducted a global survey of 300 retailers. And really what I want to do is give you some insight behind the scenes of their marketing departments. So we looked at identifying the tactics that retailers are currently using, and then the ones that are more effective in actually producing revenue. So email is definitely still one of the most effective ways to reach a retailer's target audience. It consistently dominates against other tactics such as SEO, SEM and social, and it's all around driving that online conversation. So the Direct Marketing Association actually found that return on investment from email actually rose from just under £25, I think it was £24.93, to around about £38 in 2016. So if it's used effectively, email marketing can really enhance the entire customer life cycle. So that's really from converting shoppers to buy, to maintaining a conversation with them, from a first purchase opportunity all the way through to encouraging them to actually buy again. And not surprisingly, that over half of the retailers that we surveyed plan to either increase the amount of emails that they're sending in 2016 and 17, and as you can see, about 30% of them will continue sending around about the same amount. So those raised email volumes and the increase for a competitive inbox really makes sure that you have to actually have a really good impression. And it's more important than ever to make sure that you are top of mind in the inbox. So for years, the industry has been talking about the number of key tactics that are really important. And when we're asked, what are the most important marketing programs that retailers should really use, we actually say three. The first three that you can see on there, which is segmentation, a welcome series, and then remailing. So if we explore a little bit more around segmentation and some of the tactics in a bit more detail. So segmentation allows you to deliver the most relevant content to each customer and then use every single touch point as an opportunity to offer additional value. So a brand that's using segmentation is Closet London, who are a women's wear brand. They've been designing and manufacturing in London for the last 20 years. And the brand knows that every woman has a unique style. And by being able to actually identify and target those preferences, will actually keep her coming back. So retailers who want to personal style particular emails, it's all around getting the right segmentation. So with an integration of Bronto with the Magento platform, and that platform was actually integrated by One Creations, one of our partners, what they've been able to actually do is to really leverage the data that they've actually got and be able to set preferences within the database. So it's not only looking at customers that are loyal to the brand, but it also enables them to know a lot more about their customers and how they actually interact with their brand. So they've divided a database into a number of different segments, and really it's around creating automation workflows for all those segments. So for example, one segment targets shoppers who have bought specific types of clothing. It's actually a bodycon style dress, and sends them emails with similar dresses. So the success speaks for itself, where these tailored emails have actually had a conversion rate that's 50 times higher than any of their average marketing messages. So if we still look at the welcome series, 74% of all of the retailers within this survey are using them. So it's a very focused message that introduces shoppers to your products. It tells them why they should care about your business, and hopefully it'll inspire them to actually make their first purchase. So the email campaign of Swedish fashion underwear and sports apparel brand Björn Borg is actually one of the best practice. So this retailer sends a 3-part email series to welcome new subscribers. It introduces them to the brand history and the bestsellers, and then makes them part of that Björn Borg tribe by transporting the brand's value, activities, and also the attractiveness of the brand. So as you can see from some of the statistics here, is the click rate is at 232%, conversion is up by 21%, and the revenue is actually 270% higher than their standard marketing emails. So the next one is around remailing, and it's probably the easiest way for retailers to actually drive more revenue. So if we put it simply, what is remailing? It's basically taking the exact same message that you sent maybe a week or 2 weeks ago and basically putting a new header to it. And typically what we find is that when you actually do that, a lot of merchants are actually finding that type of remailing will actually get exactly the same amount of statistics of open rates and click-throughs than the first one. So the Grow Company, which is an Exeter-based retailer for baby products, they actually introduced the baby sleeping bag into the UK. They use this as one of their marketing strategies. So they basically say that they can actually paste the metrics from the first 24 hours of the send to a remail a week later. And as you can see, those are some fantastic results for them. The interesting comment at the bottom, which I thought was quite amusing, is that it's like printing money. So by redoing this, they can actually get the same amount of revenue as they would do in their first send. So when it comes to measuring success, retail marketing programs, the most valuable benchmark to retailers is to use their own trends over time. So no one knows their business better than the retailers themselves. But it's also nice to see where other opportunities lie. So if they're using commerce marketing techniques that other retailers found useful, then they can be somewhat effective. So as we can see here, the retailers rate email exclusive offers at around about 99%, and cart recovery emails at about 98%. So those are really the most effective email tactics to actually use. So if retailers are not using these type of tactics now, then really they actually need to look at those as being at the top of their list. Now, abandoned baskets, they can be a real source of frustration to commerce marketers, but they're also full of potential. So shoppers who've gone to the trouble of actually selecting items, putting them into their basket, they are actually just steps away from converting. So they've already partially committed to making a purchase, they just haven't given you the money yet. So London-based footwear brand Hudson Shoes, they realized that revenue was leaking from their site by not using cart recovery. So by bringing shoppers back to the items that they had left in their basket, the message actually triggered through a workflow that automatically sent them a message an hour later after they've left the website. So these highly effective emails can actually generate a substantial amount of revenue. And in this instance, it generated 22% of their total annual revenue from email, with an average conversion rate of 21% engagement, which is 2% higher than any average email that they've done before. But with the work that we do with retailers, typically we actually see that there's actually a 53% increase, or 53 times increase on ROI from any cart recovery email. So most commerce marketers will actually agree with you that personalized custom experience leads to a higher engagement and a higher conversion rate. So, however, if we look at some of the usage on the personalization tactics that had been used, some of them are actually quite low. So the tactics that were least frequently used by retailers are reorder reminders, SMS and mobile campaigns, and gift reminders. Now, still, they offer brands a great opportunity to meet the customer's expectations and to truly personalize that experience. So whilst these may be lesser used strategies within the commerce marketer's toolbox, they shouldn't really be discounted. So keep in mind that sometimes the least used strategies doesn't mean that it's the least effective strategy. So, in fact, when you actually ask retailers what their priorities are for the future, many of these tactics were on their list. So the top 3 tactics for marketers in their future plans were VIP and loyalty, dynamic content, and a personalized post-purchase series. And as you can see by the figures, those are the 3 major ones. If retailers are looking for an edge over some of their competitors, then it may be a good place to start. And delivering that truly personalized experience, customers want to be able to be in the hands to actually have a smart and sophisticated commerce marketing to actually deliver what they want. The other thing to do is to consider implementing a post-purchase campaign. So this is really to communicate with recent buyers to try to get them to convert again. And these strategies often involve recommending items for cross-sell, upsell, or even offering discounts. So one of our customers, Swedish brand Dr. Denim, they focus on 20 to 30-year-old customers. They don't want to just email them to sell to them, but they actually want to add something different and something to their lives on a daily basis. So they use email as a channel to get more traffic to the website and sell in a smarter way. So they actually focus on editorial content. So again, through the integration of their Magento e-commerce platform with Bronto email and also Nosto's personalization, they're leveraging customer data such as purchase information, order history, and its post-purchase email. And then the day after the purchase from that customer, they automatically receive an email asking them, are you looking smashing? Do you like your new clothes? And based on that, it's around pushing them through to the website and giving them some lifestyle-orientated editorial sections that really can inspire them to their brand. So here's a question. Can you guess the amount of, the average number of tactics that are being used by retailers today? Is it 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, or 9 plus?
1 to 3.
No, it's actually 7.2. So, as you can see, there's a wide variety of tactics and tools to accelerate business growth. So how many should retailers have implemented? We've actually seen in our survey that retailers actually employ an average of about 7.2. The number of tactics that is used varies actually by company size. And really quite interestingly, the larger companies, so those that are actually doing over 100 million in annual sales, have fewer programs in place. And as you can see, it's around about 6.7 on average. Then mid-sized companies, so they're between 10 and 100 million in sales, are using 8.1. And then it seems that that's actually a bit counterintuitive. So how is it possible that larger companies are using fewer, less commerce marketing tactics? So it's actually likely that those organizations with presumably larger overall marketing budgets are augmenting their conversations with other tactics. So they may be using some of the traditional offline marketing, online advertising, and also other content. So it's also possible that larger organizations that lack the flexibility and also the agility to quickly deploy a greater diversity of programs. So looking at the finders by sector, the pressure of a crowded market and expedition of multi-channel consumers, we can see that driving clothing and automation brands in particular to deploy a greater number of tactics. But using an average of 8.5 and 8.4 respectively, retailers in those sectors feel that the pressure is greater on them from a competitive perspective. And that actually then pushes them to explore more opportunities to create revenue. So as you can see, those particular areas are actually using more tactics than any of the others. So email continues to be the key route for revenue. And it's going to surely increase as brands become more creative in their own tactics. And having an effective commerce marketing strategy in place is really vital to maintain and grow a retail customer's relationship. And above all, it actually, staying close to the consumer's behavior will enable retailers to evolve with their customers. There are more ways that are available to actually understand customers and meet their needs, but it's also to continue tracking and benchmarking the success of those programs, and by implementing new tactics, they're actually going to resonate with retail audiences. So if retailers want an immediate impact on revenue, then really they've got to consider these 5 basic money-making tactics, if they haven't already. So they'll be able to make a more positive brand experience and boost the bottom line by using segmentation, welcome series, remailing, cart recovery, and post-purchase. And again, it's around continually tracking and benchmarking your success. So as I said, I would keep it nice and short and make sure that it's underneath the half an hour that I was allocated.